I have audio? Do I have audio? Says audio's going out. Hmm. Yay! Trust me, I'm a professional. Uh, I was watching another group stream, Degenerate Dice something. Neon Lords will know who I was just in there with. Um, while I was pulling up all the news and everything, I was listening to another podcast or another podcast, a podcast on Twitch. So it was Degenerates with Dice. So on Twitch, I was listening to them. They were having a fun little discussion about whether alignments are necessary or not. And I wanted to jump in so bad. And I'll say some games need alignments, some games don't. Um, Alignments like in Star Wars and Deadlands don't make any sense. Then you have like broad base alignments, something like in Neon Lords where you just have three kind of broad alignments, and then in D&D where you have things that are so dependent upon on alignments, especially something like second or third edition. uh, if you're a lawful good cleric and you drift away from being, following the laws of your patron, whatever, then you should be punished. It is a limiting factor, but it's limiting for a reason. So they have their place. They're just definitely not for every game. Okay, so back to what I was miming before I turned my mic on. On the 19th, so a week from tomorrow, the library will be doing Pirate Borg on the stream for Talk Like a Pirate Day. And if you go to Pirate Borg's website, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get as many people playing Pirate Borg as possible on Talk Like a Pirate Day. Also on Talk Like a Pirate Day, I know most Krispy Kreme support it, but if you go into Krispy Kreme and talk like a pirate, you'll get a free donut. And in the past, if you've dressed like a pirate, they will give you a dozen donuts. And rarely does anybody take them up on it and say, "Oh, I'm gonna swing by Krispy Kreme this year and talk like a pirate." Mm. Mm. Oh, I got like 10 seconds before we get a Twitch ad. Well, I will wait till the Twitch ad is over before I go over all the stuff that has been donated. There's a big stack of it here. Those of you that aren't on Twitch and you're watching elsewhere, I hope you have fun. Mm. Let's see. Geez, the ad break on Twitch is long. It says it'll be done in 20 seconds. Holy Toledo. Oh. Oh, man. It has been a rough start to the week. So, some of you know that I do photography on the side, and with that, sometimes I'll get distracted, and I have always made fun of photographers that get distracted so much about something they run into a pole or whatever. Well, this morning, where I work, we've got a low um, uh, loading dock, so that vans can pull up to it. Yeah, I was looking at the sunrise because we're so far north. Sunrise. How do I get one of? Oh, I may have one of these polo shirts for you at PAX Unplugged. Just let me know if since you've retired from the military, if you've gone up from a large to a double X or triple X large. Um, so yeah, this morning looking at the sunrise as I walked towards my van and missed the ramp on the loading dock, and I fell off our loading dock. I skinned my elbow, and also I bruised the bone, and bruised both of my knees. So it has been I thankfully was able to laugh about it. 3X and sassy. Okay, so let's get into what we got. So last weekend was PAX West, and man, the second most amount of monetary donations that we've ever gotten. Between PayPal and cash and other outlets, we got $1,000, so that's nice. That actually takes care of our storage for the remainder of the year. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's a huge thing. You're paying 300 and some change out of pocket every month. It's every now and then you're like, oh, you're looking at the library accounts, going, oh, what do we got? But lots of awesome things happening for 2024, and I'm super excited because it's going to be a really good year. We've been doing this; it'll be our 7th year next year. The industry and a lot of people are really coming around, going, "Oh, hey, you guys are actually doing a good thing." I got an email today from a lady, her husband, who used to who worked for Bethesda. Any donation from the 5e players? I don't know directly because I didn't look at who was sitting on what table, but we had a number of people that played in games at PAX West that came over and donated. And some of the GMs were pretty cool. And there was times, because we put the little QR code that people could go to our PayPal at all the tables. So we did see around the ending time of games some stuff that pop up. And we're trying to make it standard so our GMs will like, hey, if you like what the library does, hint hint, please help. Why did I just go all blurry? Hello? Yeah, hang on. Well, that was interesting. Like, looked like somebody ran up and put some Vaseline on the lens. So yeah, it's been this next year is going to be really good. It looks like we may have things worked out to move into a more permanent location, which would be awesome. Because it'll be somewhere that we can set up a somewhere for me to stream more permanently, and also somewhere for us to invite people in, so we can like open the library up to people like once a month. And if all works out, this will be a really awesome thing. Okay, let's get on to some of the things that were donated. So I'm going to start with stuff that we got from professionals, from companies and the like at PAX West, and then the rest of this, most of this here, was actually donated by someone that visited. Oh, I was in the middle of the story. So yeah, got an email from a widow, and she was very polite. Said her husband had met us at Gen Con last year, not this year's Gen Con, and he actually worked for Bethesda and worked on many titles. In fact, a game that just came out was something he was working on, and apparently he was liked the library so much he told his wife about it and said, I would like, if anything ever happens to me, my stuff to go over there. And sadly, he passed away last October. So she's been, taking care of all the stuff over the last year, because it's amazing what lingers for years after a death. And she just reached out today saying that he loved what we did, and it's kind of awesome that he thought of us, and then she remembered. So we're working on a way to get all the books from her. She's, it's a giant bookcase full of stuff from all over the years, and it's crazy to think he was only, a few years older than me. So I don't feel that old. I need to start working out so I can stay around longer, be the chief librarian longer. Okay, let's get into some book donations. Hey, thanks for the 30 months. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this stuff for that long. Okay, so over at Free League, they have the One Ring. Well, they released a Lord of the Rings for 5e, and they donated us the core rulebook. Move bag. I gotta have a place to put my stuff. Yes, I talked to inanimate objects. And then the Shire Adventures book and the GM screen. Let's look at this GM screen. Aww. Aww. As always, they put together a really good product over at Free League. Has a lot of the design feel and aesthetics that from the One Ring, how they put that together. And if you know 5e and you want to play Lord of the Rings, check out the 5e Lord of the Rings RPG from Free League. They also, because their Dragonbane game just came out, they gave us a whole stack of these that we gave out to people. We kept 2. These are quick start guides for Dragonbane. We kept 2 for the library. Then we have the box set. But super cool, a lot of fun game, and you got Darkwing Duck. How can you it's not Darkwing Duck, but it is Darkwing Duck. Cozy Companions. So this is from Snowbright Studios. Snowbright Studios, so this is their... we're getting better about marking games we get donated at the events, because we're bringing the stuff so they get cataloged as soon as they get to us, and then we mark them with a post-note that says new. So if you're at the library and you see post-it notes on something, it probably means it's new. So this is Cozy Companion. This is their magazine for Snowbright Studios. They put out, what is the game? Tea Time Adventures. An adorable little RPG that has recipes in it that are for like in-game stuff. If you want a cute little RPG that has like food and drink interactions, it's a great little game for that. And their Cozy Companion, they have like adventures and stuff in there for the different games they've been putting out. And one of them has a sneak peek for their next game that's coming soon. Let's see. Got this in Kickstarter. I don't remember if we talked about this last week or the week before last, but Burger Punk. I actually really want to play this soon. It is the year 1997, and America's been destroyed. Fractured fast food alliances that once controlled empires fight over the shells of ruined cities, destroyed in the Cola Wars. While syrup-addicted survivors struggle to get by, the landscape is overrun with aggressive strains of high-fructose corn, and mysterious living meat has spread throughout the ecosystem, consuming and replacing more conventional fauna. Does that not just sound like something you want to play? I know it sounds like stuff I want to play. See. I've got a bunch. So met that there was a game designer from Tim Roberts. So there was a Critical Kit is the name of the company. So the primary designer that was there, he's from France, and let me find all their stuff. They donated a bunch of little games. Is this theirs? I don't think no, that's not theirs. That wasn't them. You'd think I'd be more organized by now. Well, I know I got more stuff from them. So, as much as we were trying to label, so Be Like a Crow, a solo RPG. Love solo RPGs. These are great ways to spend that time between gaming sessions without obsessing over your character. So I'm going to check this out, see what it's like. And then D666. A solo hell-building RPG by Tim Roberts. Here's your easy-to-use character sheet. Adorable little devil in the front. Oh, you got to play these. Nice. Did you buy them at PAX West, or did you just look at the ones that we got? Let's go to hell. What a name of the chapter. So I'm going to check this one out as well. While I'm at events, I don't necessarily have time to look at new stuff. Oh, this is heavy. Polaris, the role-playing game. This is their limited run covers. And these look so cool. It's textured. I don't even know. I don't know. Oh, you brought the Be a Crow up. Oh, thanks. Let's see. I don't know much about Polaris. And I know it's been a game for a little while, and they swung by and gave us their limited run covers. I don't know if this is a new print. Oh, you're working at Silver King Games. We partnered with them to bring some GMs up to run some extra games for PAX West this year. It was really nice. We're also going to be partnering with Terra Crux Games as well. So we're going to try to get local GMs coming from stores to come do fun stuff with us. So, Emberwind started off as a therapy RPG, and it's still really good at that. It is a D20 system. It was designed starting with 5e, but they really slimmed everything down. You can play this by yourself with no GM, and they've really expanded the world a bunch. So this is their second book. It's playable with their first book. But it's also playable standalone, and they have a third book as well now. They were they were basically completely sold out at the event, and they also have like a card RPG that goes along with everything. Emberwind is really cool. I need to get the people from Omnom on to talk about Emberwind, because I chatted with them a ton long before we started our streams, and I mean, they're awesome things. From the company Dodeca Donuts, I love the name. We got a donut. It's wood and holds dice. But you need coffee with your donut. It's a dice tower. Tell me that is not a creative frickin' dice tower and dice holder combo. It just made me laugh. So the Dodeca Donut, the pink bag, is for your donut so that it lasts longer, so it doesn't get beat up. And then he's working on these are just like he made these himself. Like he bought the cups, then he got the stickers made, then he cut everything out, and he did all the measurements and 3D printed. He's working on getting more professional or more permanent versions of these made. Because I don't want to say these aren't professionally done. These are really well made. And a blast. Also from Dodeca Donuts, they have a module for adventure for 2 to 4 fifth level characters. It's time to save the donuts. Yes. So if you're old enough to remember the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, it's time to make the donuts. This will make you laugh because this is right up that alley. It's time to save the donuts. In fact, there's the Dunkin' Donuts guy in young form. You too can save the donuts. Oh, from Snowbright Studios. This is their newest game. It's called Ink. So, it's an adventure using characters that have died in campaigns. So if you have a character that you love that died in a campaign, you can bring them back into this world, and then you can interact with baristas. Yes, it is the daddest of dad jokes. It's a barista. It's an adorable little game, and I want to bring them on, and I want them to talk about this because it's super fun. Like, it's a really cool concept of how to save your... What did you focus on? Hello. Hello? Yay! So check out Ink from Snowbright, and it's like the whole layout of it's adorable. It's a great little game, and easy to find. It's focusing on the ghost in front of the camera. So, oh, dang it! Totally just forgot about the name of the group. Oh, their name's not on here. Dang it. They're a group that sells cool stuff, gaming stuff at events. So this is a bamboo dice holder, and why can't I think of the name of the group all of a sudden? But they raise money that goes to help fund gaming, like therapeutic gaming. And while I was talking to them, somebody overheard heard us talking, and then they leaned over and they had these sets. So it's 5 sets of metal dice for $100. And he buys that, and the person working there that I'm chatting with, rings him up and he goes, "Oh, do you need dice for your library?" I was like, "Well, we always do." And he goes, "Here you go." After he buys them, hands them to us. He's like, "I can help both organizations at once." So these are 5 all metal sets, and they're hefty. Like this is. I mean, I'm surprised at the weight of these. So we will have some cool metal dice for people to play with at events now. Thank you, random stranger, that was able to help them out and us. And then, for the life of me, I cannot think of the name of the company, the group. Oh, it's going to drive me bonkers. Arrgh. It's going to drive me nuts. Okay. Let's see. Now we're into fun stuff. So these were donated at PAX. These come from the mid-'80s. From a small company called Reindeer Games. And you would see little stuff like this show up at events all the time, or they show up in your local game store. So this was how indie gaming was done. You'd put together a little thing like this, and you would sell it for, well, these went for $2.50. So these were sold either at an event or at a local game store from... these were all made in Grand Rapids, Michigan, so not far from the gaming center of the world at the time. And it's Reindeer Games, Twerp's Campaign Book number 3, Twerp's Magic, Twerp's Basic Rules, and then Twerp's Campaign Book number 1, Kung Fu Dragons. So we have the basic rules, and book number 1, book number 2, and looks like or book 1, book 3, and magic. So it looks like we're missing book 2, and I'll have to see what else was put out. Look at the tiny little die. Little tiny D20. Love old school stuff. Let's see. The Robotech for Savage Worlds. Brain just left me for a second. Wait, does Twerps, why does that sound familiar? I don't know why Twerp sounds familiar. But here is the Twerps Basic Rules cover. So if that looks familiar from Reindeer Games, and it was around the time you were born, to Pulsar. In fact, this one I think has a copyright date of '84. I think this one's what this one was. So, love me some Savage World stuff. Love me some Robotech. I've always been a giant Robotech fan, so I'm probably going to be playing some Robotech here in the future with Savage Worlds, because what's cooler than that? Let's see. Oh, hey, still got other new stuff. So got these not at PAX. I got these at another event earlier this year, but they got funneled away into another box. So they're both from Spencer Campbell. Did I get them signed? I did not get these ones signed. But small game company. So Nova and Slayers, sci-fi and vampires. So I will get some more information about these. See if I can get Spencer to come on and chat about those as well. Also from Spencer, Light, the Beacon Edition. So, your beacons, immortal guardians of the solar system under siege. Burn bright and push back the darkness in this action-packed power fantasy tabletop RPG illuminated by the Lumen system. The Lumen system is, I believe, his core system that he builds games off of. And then from the folks over at Pirate Board, let's see, we got the Dead Man's Cove naval combat scenario, and there's your whole one shot. We got Buried in the Bahamas, a little adventure, an introductory adventure for Pirate Board, and Dark Tides. Oh, Twerps. Twerps was distributed by Game Science in the 90s, so the die was made by the distributor. Well, these are older than the 90s version. These Twerps are all like this one. This one is from '87, and the original rules are from '85, I think. So the Twerps in the 90s was same game, but yes, it it actually got a distribution. So Dark Tides is a Pirate Board, a swashbuckling wave brawl, solo micro RPG. Grab some dice and prepare to set sail on the high seas. You can also use the Zine as a random generator for maritime campaigns. So it's its own little thing that you can help make bigger games out of. Okay, looks like I'm now into other donations. So I've been a big fan of Mutants Masterminds for a while. Drove up on Friday? No, I drove up on Saturday to pick these up from a donor, someone that donated. So this is the Mutants Masterminds Pocket Player's Guide. Always good to have. Big fan of Mutants and Masterminds. A copy of the first, the old school Savage Worlds, the Explorers Edition. So, back when they were, this was, I mean, oh, where'd it go? I just had it. They're using art from from the old Deadlands game. But this is 2008, so Savage Worlds was only a couple years old at this time. Got a Mutants and Mastermind GM screen. Never had one of these before. Show off the art. Now the only problem with this one is it's designed to fold this way, and everybody tries to fold it this way, and if you do, it never lays flat. So if you're designing a GM screen, make your outer ones just small enough so that it folds this way. Everybody wants to fold it that way. Nobody wants to fold it this way because you're putting a whole lot of extra stress on this end, or on your middle crease, and it is. It's a lot of extra pressure. Let's see, not a soda, an Italian sparkling drink. These are one of the few sparkling things that I think taste okay. Most of them taste like somebody drove by the plant with a fruit. This one actually tastes like the fruit. Grapefruit. The Star Wars role-playing game Saga Edition. A couple copies of the core rulebook. We love having extra copies of the core rulebook. And this was much better than the first go-round of Star Wars D20. The first edition of Star Wars D20 was a hot mess. But put out a bunch of great books. I mean, all the Yuuzhan Vong stuff was wonderful to read through. This was actually really cool because it cleaned up the rules a lot, got away from a lot of the clunky mess that they had in the first edition, and this was definitely going in the direction of, hey, this is going to be something that people can pick up and play. Let's see. Oathbound, Dominions of the Forge, by Beth Joan Press. D20 supplement. Shadowrun 4th edition core rulebook. Actually, it's only the second one we've got. And this is the WizKids. So, WizKids took over, made a 4th edition, and then yes, Saga Edition helped the creation of 4E D&D. Well, Saga Edition came out, and it came out in the period where they were looking to they were in the midst of transitioning, and there is ideas that rolled up into 4th edition in the Saga Edition, so it did help, but it definitely wasn't it wasn't a product that totally led into it. It was like, hey, we've got some ideas, let's play test them in this other game. So yeah, so I think 4th edition, if I remember right, is where WizKids sold the IP over to Catalyst. So you can find 4E stuff that is WizKids Fan Pro, and some that is Catalyst, and then 5E was full Catalyst. And then now you got Sixth World. Let's see. Iron Kingdom is the World Guide. Full Metal Fantasy, Volume 2. I actually really dig the Iron Kingdoms universe. Think it's pretty nifty. Let's see. There's some stuff in here mixed in for the Dragon Star system. So it was a sci-fi setting using the D20 engine. This is Smuggler's Run, which kind of makes me giggle because that is the name I use for my Star Wars campaign I run at events. And then this was old Fantasy Flight stuff. So, most people don't know, You could use the OGL covered the third edition core rules, but they don't know there was the D20. It was a you had to pay to use the D20 logo. It was a more restrictive license. So things you see with the D20 logo on them. So anything that says D20 system, that was a whole separate entity run by WotC that people had to buy into and was killed off. Let's see. Mind Shadows. Mythic Vistas from Green Ronin. Green Ronin in the early 2000s was putting out a lot of interesting stuff. Requires the use of Dungeons & Dragons third edition core books and Psionics handbook. Oh, Psionics. Dragonstar is still available in Drive-Thru. Yes, Dragonstar is still available at Drive-Thru RPG. Let's see. Exalted, the Storyteller's Companion. This is second edition Exalted. We don't have hardly anything from second edition Exalted. Really cool world. That was still under White Wolf. Let's see. Sword and Sorcery Creature Collection 3 Savage Bestiary. I want a Savage Bestiary. Oh, I've got one right here. Sword and Sorcery books are published under the OGL and are 100% compatible with 3.5 rules. D20 system. The Book of Fiends. Green Ronin. OGL Interlink. The early 2000s were such a bonkers time for RPGs. So this is a book that we've actually gotten a few times now. The Book of Righteousness. Requires the use of Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition books. It is actually a really neat book. It is a lot of religions and gods that you can incorporate into RPGs, specifically D&D 3 and 3.5. And it's neat because there's a warning. They're like, hey, some of these may resemble real life stuff. Oh. What's my favorite? My favorite meal? Probably pizza or spaghetti. Super excited about these. Dinosaur Planet, Bronchosaurus Rex, and the Cestus Adventure Guide. The Civil War still happening on a planet inhabited by dinosaurs, and yes, he has a light cutlass. This is put out by Old Goodman Games. I mean, look at the logo for Goodman Games there. This is pre-Triceratops logo. This is a D20 system, so if you know, what year did this get put out? This was put out in 01, and this was put out in 02. And I know at least one other book, and I want to run this so bad. This game was so silly. There's just so much stupid about this game. It's such a bonkers little world. Yes, I love it. Let's see. D20 Future. Evil Genius, I have it right down here, has their everyday heroes. That its old predecessor would have been D20 Modern and D20 Future. Let's see. Hillfolk, a game of Iron Age drama from Drama Systems and Pellegrin Press. Now this is a weird one because I thought Pellegrin Press was a U.S. company, but this is an A4 size. So A4 is the standard print size in Europe, not 8.5 by 11. But this is a more sword and sandal game than it is sword and sorcery. TSR Worlds, the Spelljammer comic book from DC in 1990. I'm going to read this later. Sword and Sorcery was White Wolf's D20 imprint. It's also Gamma World 6 Ed. Yes. Oh. Aces and Eights, Shattered Frontier, role-playing game. This is a really nice book. It on the outside, it looks like a picture book you would have gotten from back in the day. And I flipped through it some. It looks cool. It also looks like it came from somebody that designed miniature games, because it looks a little overly complex, but that just may be, my impressions. But, I mean, you do have overlays. Shotgun, shot clock, and shot clock. Yeah, so, I mean, you have clear overlays to... Yeah. I this looks like an intriguingly complex game, but it also looks like someone that made too many new rules for the sake of making rules. Let's see. Creature Collection revised from Sword and Sorcery. So, Sword and Sorcery Studios. Are my parents still alive? My father passed away a few years ago while I was deployed to Afghanistan, and my mother is still around. Let's see. Warlords of Accordlands, the Master Codex. I have no clue about this. Well, it's a D20 system. All new races, unique to Accordlands. 18 new character classes. Holy cow. 18 new character classes. So, Devenderlands, Dwarves, Elves, Humans, Half-breeds, Nimbrix, Northrog. Okay, and that is a lot of stuff. D20, Whole New World. Whole New World. Some more Dragonstar, the Starfarer's Handbook, and the Player's Companion. So, looks like might have enough to actually start a Dragonstar game. Spycraft. AG, this is Spycraft version 2. We have a bunch of stuff for version 1. I'm going to have to look and see how different version 1 and 2 are. I love how cartoony the cover is. Legends and Lairs, Monsters Handbook. A source book for creating and customizing D20 system monsters. Never a bad thing. Whew. We're not even... Hey. I went blurry again. Burp. 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 Oh, there we go. So, Legends and Lairs, Wildscape. A handbook for designing and surviving savage wildlands. Legends and Lairs was a series of a bunch of really cool stuff. Let's see. Starblazers Adventures. What? Starblazers? Wait, is this a rock and roll space op? No, hang on. Is this actual Star? This is actual Starblazer stuff. Whoa! I didn't know this existed. Mindjammer. Uses the Fate system. Not a huge fan of the Fate system. It was put out by Cubicle 7. I mean, it's not that I hate the Fate system. It's just not my thing. Hard to type out Shaggy. Ghost. I loved Starblazers as a kid. I'm gonna look at this later. Some more Legends and Lair stuff. Dungeon Craft, so making dungeons. All these were, this was a series books put out by Fantasy Flight, who was then later on down the line bought by Asmodee, who was then bought by the Swedish game company that was buying everything. Let's see. The Manual Exalted Powers, Dragon Blood, for Exalted, 2nd edition. You too can be dragon-blooded. Morning Star. Is this Lucifer? Fantasy campaign setting. Setting search semi-finalist. This is an Old Goodman Games. Huh. Two worlds of great natural beauty locked in a struggle that threatens to destroy them both. Thraxus and Errol, blue sisters sharing an orbit with continents, seas, and life. Interesting. Oh, some more Oathbound. Plains of Penance. That is a creepy looking little critter. Just saying. Ghost. Midnight Against the Shadow. A player's companion for midnight. Fantasy Flight again. The Complete Guide to Vampires. Goodman Games. They've come a long way since then. Dragon Monster Echo. So this was a compilation from the Dragon magazines that were being put out. What is going on with my camera today? Hang on, I'm turning autofocus off. There. Now it can't do it. Ha ha! There's more than one way to outsmart a camera. One too many processors you have. So, Dragon, Monster Ecologies. So, this was Paizo putting out stuff for D&D before Paizo became, started doing their, D&D 3.75. Pathfinder, thank you. Bleeding Edge Adventure number 1. Mansion of Shadows. Green Ronin. It's nice to see a lot of these companies are still around. Monsters of the Mind. Ooh, creepy. A sonic bestiary for D20 systems. Probably not gonna make Sonics and D20 better, but let's see. The Lost Menagerie from Mike Merrills. There's somebody I haven't talked to in a while. Necromancer Games. Aasimar and Tieflings. A guidebook to the Plane Touched. Again, Green Ronin. Morningstar must have come out at the same time, same setting hunt that brought us Dawnforge, Crucible, Legend, and Ebron. It might have. Bastards, Bloodlines, a guidebook to half-breeds. Races of Renown from Green Ronin. He put out a bunch of stuff. Let's see. A Dreadful Dawn campaign from Green Ronin for D20. Nice thing about all the D20 stuff, it's easy to convert. See, Beyond the Towers, another campaign book. Bleeding Edge Adventures number 2. See, The Galaxy Guide to Dragonstar. What? Mary? What? Fine. Okay, come yell at me and run away. Just like a cat. See. Dragonstar Imperial Supply. Midnight. Minions of the Shadow. Oh, that's a creepy cover. What? Are you going to run away again? Oh, nope, no running away. I got you. Ha-ha. I'm faster. H. Nunzio. Say hi, Nunzio. Roar. Need to find what happened to his emoticon. Oh, there you go. You gotta sit in my chair. Huh? You happy? You gonna sit in my chair? 20 pounds of... Complete Guide to Dragonkin. The Book of Templates Deluxe Edition, a toolkit for creature construction. Ah, there's the Goodman Games Triceratops logo that they have today. Oh, Midnight. So we've seen some stuff for this. And this book has definitely seen better days. Not a well-bound book. But I did leaf through it. Looks like everything is there. Let's see. Guide to Liches. That is also a creepy cover. Mutants and Masterminds. This is, I think, first edition core book. Oh. Yes, I believe this is first edition. This is the one with the luck rule that is utterly broken. No one realized how broken it was until I used the luck rule and broke the game. Second edition core rulebook. Oh, the character guide for Iron Kingdoms, Full Metal Fantasy Volume 1. D20 Modern. Let's see. Pathfinder Chronicles, a classic monsters revisited. We're almost done. Sword and Sorcery, Creature Collection, Dark Menagerie. Let's see. Iron Kingdoms, the Monsternomicon, Volume 3.5. So this is Iron Kingdoms in the D20 setting, or in the D20 system. Oh. First edition, yes, does have the silver spine of the Mutants and Masterminds. Monsternomicon, Volume 2. What? Why are you yelling at me? And then Legends and Lairs, the Portals and Planes. And then our last book, I think this is our last book. Oh, no, hang on, we got one more. Oh, no. Totally forgot about this. This is another new game. So we already have a copy of the core book. This is Dread Shores and Black Horizons. Archon Games, they have a really cool board game, and this is their small RPG. So this is the core rulebook. You can buy it like this, or you can buy it in a box set where you get the nice box. You get a very nice dice bag, and you actually get an introductory adventure that helps you out to play the game. And I believe these are sealed character sheets. So this is a couple bucks more, but it's definitely it's designed to, and it's got magnets in it too. It's designed to be that pick up and play, so you can get people interested. And then our last book is actually one I was looking at not too long ago. Torchbearer. So this is Burning Wheel and Mouse Guard compatible. So it uses the same rules that Burning Wheel and Mouse Guard use, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'll be honest, I absolutely love this cover. This is a really cool cover. And this is a much older game than I thought. This came out a decade ago. I didn't think this was that old. So I really thought this was newer than that. And came out 10 years ago. Let's see. Hey, somebody wants to offer promotion for our channel viewers. Or we can buy views and chats and blah, 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 blah. Let's see. How do I murder that thing? Da-da-da-da. No. No, I don't want to reply to it. I don't want to pin it. I want to murder it. I want to ban it. First time chat. well, hmm. Well, I don't know. How do I not have mod abilities on my own account? Oh, there we go. I think. Hang on. Blue! Gone! Hey! Yay! I killed the bot! Oh no! It's gonna be the end of the world! Okay. I always forget I gotta, like, click on their name and stuff. So, let's get to some news and the like. Um, so I'm going to try to go through a lot of this as quick as possible. Because I got a cat sniffing at my butt. Um, there's actually I'm trying to get better about going instead of to like news aggregate sites. I'm going straight to the different news channels and like where I'm actually I'm trying to go out to the individual companies. Now that takes you a lot more time, but I think it's more worth it. But I do try to. I still go through the aggregates and find stuff like this. So yesterday. Oh, also for everyone watching, today is September 11th. A fairly important day within the history of the world. Big changes. I mean, the world has not been the same since September 11th, 22 years ago. That is a crazy idea. Okay, so yes, you can. I may even order a set of these for myself, but they're puffy red dragon slippers. I definitely, especially if I'm going to events and I'm going to share rooms with people, I think I need to have these when I travel. I don't know how I missed this, but towards the end of last month, Cubicle 7 released their second book of the 60 Years of Adventure. So they released and they just donated the core rule book to us at Gen Con. And they didn't have any of the volume 1, and this is the second volume. So their first volume encompassed all the original Doctors, and the movie Doctor, and then this encompasses all the new generation Doctors and stuff. I love they have David Tennant on there twice because he's now twice. I hate to say, I think it's time for Doctor Who to take a break. The stories are running really thin again. Same thing that happened to Doctor Who in the 80s, and they kept trying to keep it on life support. Then they made it kind of go away, and they kept it alive with some movies, TV movies that they did. So, I kind of want them to go back to doing that. Let's see. But Doctor Who's still a really cool IP, and this is their 60 Years of Adventure book 2, so covering 2005 to now. Wow, 2005 is when Doctor Who. What are you're just gonna stand in the corner and yowl, huh? What? What do you want? Cats. You never know what they want. Let's see. Paizo. They have their welcome to the War of Immortals playtest. So this is a playtest for an upcoming setting. What? Oh my God, buddy. Oh, fine. Ugh. There, you can be on camera again. So, this is new stuff for their, I believe, for Pathfinder. And within here, there's a way to get into the playtest. Cool. And you can, if you use the Demi-Plane TTRPG, it's available through that as well. I don't typically cover much about D&D, but they are still doing play tests for whatever they think are going to be their changes. I don't know what direction they're going with on D&D now. What are you doing? I don't normally allow my cat on my desk, but he's now up here loving everything. He's like, oh, things I've not loved before. Camera. Things. Boxes. Batteries. Yes, Dad's desk is full of stuff. But they're introducing changes to character classes and adding new subclasses. So if you're into... if you're into D&D, check out what they're doing on D&D Beyond, because they're playtesting stuff through there. Let's see, Cities Without Numbers. So this is a game that kickstarted a while back and was just released. So like the backers got everything. This was released August 30th. So it's the Without Numbers system. They've been doing that for a little while. This is their new Cities Without Numbers. It's a cyberpunk setting, and the Without Numbers stuff has been really cool. Yes, Nunzio is an RPG cat. He plays at being a cat because he's far more dog, I swear. So if you like the Without Numbers games that have been coming out, here's a cyberpunk edition, Cities Without Numbers. Modifius has a bunch of their Fallout and Elder Scrolls minis and stuff on sale. So if you are into the Fallout RPG, which we were trying to run but kept having technical difficulties. Elder Scrolls Call to Arms core box set. Automaton card expansion. Oh, there's actually a lot of cool stuff in here, not just minis. Stop loving everything. I really like the 2D20 system, and I think it's great for Fallout. So if you scroll over to Modifius's website, you'll be able to find all the stuff that they have on sale. Let's see, Dream Machines. So the starter set is all that's been available, and they have the quick start in stock. They have the starter set in stock, and then the core rulebook is the core rulebook, the GM's guide, and the GM screen are available for pre-order now. They'll be going out as soon as they get in stock, which is any day now. Dream Machine seems like a really cool world, so I'm actually kind of excited to get more than just the box set, because they gave us a box set. And I don't normally do the hey coming soon, but this is one that there's several of us within the library are kind of excited about, because it's Cohorts of Cthulhu. So Cohorts of Cthulhu, it's you're based in Roman times, and the elder gods of Cthulhu are coming out. So imagine Roman legions versus Cthulhu monsters, just like the art you see on screen. I'm stoked. It's very much, instead of the Achtung Cthulhu that is set in World War II, this is Roman era Cthulhu. Really, I'm super excited. I think this is gonna be cool. I really, I think this is gonna be pretty badass. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. I like that, Marcus Aurelius. I don't know if that's a real quote from him. Free League. So Pirate Borg was not put out under Free League. He was using the board stuff, and I've known for a while that Free League is picking up all the Pirate Borg stuff. So this is you can now pre-order the Pirate Borg stuff. So as soon as they get their print, because it's from what I understand, everything's gone out to print, and the Pirate Borg people will be able to continue selling what they have, but it's all going to go through Free League now, which we love Free League. They're a good company, doing good things, and they recognize like really awesome games. Let's see. Also from Free League, they just put up the Tales from the Loop. They grow up so fast. So this is a book that links Tales from the Loop to because Tales from the Loop, your like preteens, and then there's something of the Flood, or what's the? Why can't I think of the name of the other game? So one, you're playing Tales from the Loop. You're playing as kids in the '80s, and the other one is like the late '90s, early 2000s, and you're playing in a post-apocalyptic world basically as those kids that have survived and grown up. And this is designed to kind of link those. It's a really cool world. So Blue Moon, this is the second sneak peek. So kind of really the first sneak peek. This is the project from Cody Pondsmith, while Witcher is on hiatus. And it's funny because there's people that are complaining. It's Tales from the Flood, not After the Flood, but Tales from the Flood. So you got Tales from the Loop, Tales from the Flood. But yeah, they grow up so fast. Looks good. So there's a bunch of people complaining because the Witcher TTRPG is on hiatus until Witcher 4 story is set, and they're not gonna publish anything until those game books are out. And I, for one, am 100% behind them on that, because both CD Projekt Red and Artel Sorian are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to actually keep the world, under one continuous timeline. They don't want to be writing something that CD Projekt Red's like, hey, that's not going into our end of the game. What are you guys doing? So, in the meantime, he has Project Blue. So it's a tabletop RPG. It's an original universe coming from Cody, and Cody is Mike and Lisa Pondsmith's son. He is super chill dude, super smart, grown up in the industry, and just love every interaction I get with him. So the first world is Nakasukuni. It's hard to believe that this is where it all started. Looking at the peaceful streets and the vibrant life, it's hard to imagine a time when this world was burning away to oblivion. To imagine great armies of humans and spirits waging a hopeless war against a corrupted deity, employing once peaceful creatures twisted into a horde of mindless monsters to collect souls of a traitor for a traitorous afterlife. Yet even now, this world still isn't safe. The enemy continues to find ways to slither past our defenses. In the wake of the 100 years of sorrow and the reunification wars. GW might go after them for that one. Witcher's always waiting on CD Projekt Red. That is correct. But no, this looks really cool. I'm pretty excited for this because it's funny. Mike Pondsmith doesn't like doing fantasy. Cody is really into the fantasy stuff, so it's really cool to see father and son have similar minds about creating things, but very different worlds they want to go into. So there's going to be another update at the end of the month. So I hope to see where this project keeps going, and I'm gonna have to call him like, hey, can I help? He doesn't need my help. So we got a copy of this in early. I didn't know we had gotten it so early, but hey, don't bite me. Cat's just so excited that I'm petting him, or I'm not petting him, enough. He's like, I want to bite. So as of middle of last week, the Cobra Codex is actually available. It was funny because I didn't know it wasn't available yet. I love it when we get stuff early. I just wish we'd know that we didn't get that it wasn't out yet. So yeah, I'm super excited with the Cobra la 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 la. Okay, so for those of you that don't want to know about Kickstarters and crowdfunding stuff, now's the time to tune out. So, Waifu RPG. So I saw this and laughed. I was like, okay, I'll include it. And then I saw it in our Discord, and somebody's like, hey, check this out. So it made me laugh. It's $65,000, funded in 33 minutes. It had a $12,000 goal, so it's not a funded in 33 minutes, and we were looking for $15. And it's not their first created. What are you doing? Stop touching my mouse. Yeah. I wanted to actually look through all this, buddy. Came over and loved my mouse. Oh, jeez. Okay. So we've got the waifu handbook. Been producing RPG content since 2016. So it's Pathfinder 5e and Pathfinder First Edition compatible, which I just find hilarious. Contains five chapters, has 7 new races and ancestries for 5e, Pathfinder 1e, and 2e. You can be a divine dragon. Divine dragons, Nekomata, Two-Tail Yoki, Catfolk. Let's see, Nymph, Okimai, Powerful Wolfkin, Sand Elves, Yuri, and Zenko. These are the Fox Girl everyone and their brother asked me to make. Yes, they're in the book. It's the whole concept of this thing just makes me giggle on so many levels. 5e subclasses: Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Rogue, Ranger, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. Pathfinder content: Waifu Prestige class. The Pathfinder 2 archetype is the waifu. The complete waifu handbook. Just married. Feature: marriage. Suggested. Oh my god. Cooking and camping. Oh, this is. I want to copy this so bad. Even though this, I'm not into the whole waifu thing. This is. Dire ramen, boulette Wellington. Hey, corn dogs. They're a type of Wellington. Tarrasque a la kaiju. It looks so silly and funny, and it looks like they get the market. So, love it. The Loading Crew is a husband and wife team made up of 2 independent artists. The husband, Stuart, is in charge of the YouTube channel. And where'd he go? And producing content, while the wife, Alexandria, produces webcomics, Mama CQ, and the Jelly Realms Adventures. I have to see if they want to come chat with us. Okay. I thought this was neat. River City Con board game and RPG convention. First year of our weekend-long board game and RPG convention in Louisville, Kentucky. Some people hate seeing conventions like this pop up because they're like, oh, well, they're not going to get enough money to be able to do it again on their own. But they've got to start somewhere. And, if they do, 2 or 3 years of this, it'll allow them to get enough funds to be able to pay for the hotels up front. And hopefully after, 3 years of it, they don't need to. And if they do really well their first year, if Louisville, Kentucky is clamoring for a freaking 3-day, 3-day conventions are a lot of work. I probably would have started with a 2-day, but You know, I like seeing people try to do this. Um, Now, I hope that it doesn't go like what was that con that was for Tumblr users? Oh, jeez. Hang on, I'm gonna go look that one up because DashCon. So, if you are thinking about doing a convention, look up. Especially the Internet Historian did a great video on it, but on DashCon, look up all the nightmares behind DashCon and learn from that because it was Tumblr fans and some people that had worked like positions at conventions and thought, "Hey, I can do one too." And no, they're not easy to put on. There is so much work in them. Oh my god, and there's a lot of money. There's a lot of upfront costs that go into a convention that people don't realize. Um, so, taken by a drone at Lexicon. Nice. They looks like they got a boatload of board games. Meow. Wow, that's a lot of board. That's a sizable board game library for a small convention. Pathfinder and Starfinder organized play. Catan. So, looks like it used to be called, or they were part of the Lexington Lexicon. So, I wanted to start a convention called Lexicon, a play on the word lexicon. But there's already a convention called Lexicon. It's in Lexington, Kentucky. Okay, this was also shared on our Discord. The Lightspeed Exosuit Dogfighter RPG. I'm intrigued by that title right there. Infinite Revolution Overdrive, the definitive edition of the award-nominated Lightspeed Exosuit Dogfighter tabletop RPG. Whew. 23 days to go. They're 24,000. It's from Minneapolis. First created, 13 backed. Nice. I'm intrigued by this. So $35 to get you the book and digital. That's not bad at all. I mean, it doesn't look like a huge book, but it looks like a sizable zine size book. Screaming through the void, the revolutionaries along the relativity's bleeding edge, clad in starlight and fire, painting glistening fractal burn trails in your wake. I'm intrigued by this. Dance across infinity. Looks very nice. A4, so it's zine side. Slick, expressive layout and brilliant illustration. So I'm intrigued. I want to know more. Nunzio just wants attention. His food time is in 1 hour. And yes, he is definitely starting to bug me 1 hour prior to food time. Nunzio, so after he lost his brother a couple years ago, Guido, we couldn't put food out because Guido would just eat it and get fat. Well, Nunzio would eat because Guido was eating. So Nunzio got fat. So we got him on a feeding schedule. They both got down to manageable weights. And then when Guido passed away, his kidneys failed. And so we tried putting food out. And Nunzio would just eat when he was hungry. Well, then we got a kitten. And she eats everything. She hears a can opener. She wants whatever, it's like, oh, it's tomato sauce. You're like, I don't care, I want it. And she loves cheese. See, campaign builder, castles and crowns. Rule your realm, build and grow kingdoms for your campaign with toolkits for the realms, noble families, and campaign planning. Wow, they're $160,000. Nice. Let's see, for 5e Dungeons and Dragons and Tales of the Valiant games, giving your players options for royal magic, courtly intrigue, warfare, castle expansion, and much more. Guarantee that it's probably available for it'll work for more than just those. So $29 you get the PDF, $50 you get the book and PDF, $59 you get the map folio, $99 you get the all of that. Then the limited edition one looks really cool. $559. That's a lot of stuff. I hope that is super amazing. What is okay? I got to find out what is that $559 goal is. Oh, it's by Kobold Press, so yes, it should be good. Hang on. Limited edition. No, it's not. Here it is. Oh, leather edition of. So fine hide leather plus all elements of bookbinders trade. Rich in papers, gold foil work, raised cords, and ribbon bookmarks. Also includes the map folio plus so you get the book and then you get this crazy leather bound edition. Whereas the limited cover looks pretty cool. So I really like Kobold Press. They put out some really good stuff. So this should be, and this it will make it to you. 28 created, 211 backed. Let's see. Oh, dang it. Somebody sent me this one and I didn't double check. So this one will pre-order now. Does that mean it? Oh, it finished already. What? When did this finish? Oh, I don't know when this finished. Well, it looks like they'll be delivering this month. Well, Black Box Chronicles. I've never talked about it before. Yes, the last one said it'll work with Tales of the Valiant. So, I don't know much about this. I don't, unless it just finished while we were talking. The art looks cool. But okay. Free League doesn't put all their games up onto Kickstarter, but they do from time to time. This is the first big One Ring expansion, and this is their Moria, Through the Doors of Durin. It's the name of my friend's oldest child, Durin. So, and they're making stuff for both the 5e and the One Ring. So I'm excited about that. Oh man, their art is so good. But if you like what they're doing, so over at Free League, so you can get Moria for One Ring or for the 5e. And I'm sure they have, that collection edition looks so good. I'll have to get a hold of them to be like, hey, can you send me those? They'll usually send me the regulars. They don't send me the collector's editions. So if you see a collector's edition in the library, it's probably come out of my own pocket. Abaddon, the 13 Seals. A tabletop RPG of dark fantasy, demons, and the Hand of Fate. Powered by a deck of playing cards. I love stuff like this. So, first created, 28 backed, nice. Some fun looking art. Very Warhammer Fantasy looking with the plague bearer rat there. All the actions in the game are resolved by a hand of cards, which the Fate Weaver, often referred to as the Weaver, Abaddon's term for GM, will deal whenever a player character intends on performing an action. The default amount of cards you receive is 2, regardless of expertise. The aim of the goal is to get a score of 13. In order for the action to be successful, however, the target number and the number of cards will vary upon the PC's level of skill and other elements. Hexing, Fateful, Stalker, Elementalist. Let's see. What are there? Oh, the cute little animations. So, the stretch goal, if they get to $6,660, gets silk ribbon and stitching. What are they at now? They're getting close to their 6,000. Well, it'd be, so that's 6,660 pounds. So they're not. It's got a little time, and hopefully they get there because this looks neat. I like games that are doing things different. Without a deck of cards, that's kind of cool. Let's see, so for $26 you can get the PDF. For $57 you get the PDF and a book. Shipping will be charged later. $94 you get you get the tokens, the cards, the book, and the PDF. And then you got the retailer edition. That looks like their Eager Initiate, and all their early backer stuff is gone. So 100% human made, no AI used, and I dig those stickers. Alternate randomizers are always interesting. Yeah, as long as the alternate randomizers, like a deck of cards, as long as it fits in with the theme. So one of my favorite, I love the use of deck of cards in the Deadlands game, because you use it for figuring out who goes first in combat is one of the things. And just because you're fast doesn't mean you go first. So in D&D, that's always an issue. Roll a d20, and then the rogue goes, hey, I got way lower than you guys, but I add in a bunch of bonuses, and I go first. And it's rare that the rogue doesn't go first. So in Deadlands, you can get 0 to 5 actions, and then you draw cards out of a deck of cards. Well, as a gunslinger, I'm super fast. I got my 5 actions. I draw 5 cards. Well, you go from aces, and you work your way down to 2s. Well, everybody beat me because I drew nothing but 2s and 3s. So people that drew 1 card, they got the drop on me that round. And I lit everybody up using my 5 cards because that's what my character was designed to do. But it was pretty entertaining that just because I'm fast doesn't mean they didn't get the drop on me. And then with this, it sounds like they're using a deck of cards to be more storytelling. Like Dread uses a Jenga tower or a wood block tower. And I love how that works. That works wonderful in that game. Unless you've got, shakes. See. Slaughterville RPG. 9 days to go. Uses the Year Zero engine, so Free League's engine. Slaughterville RPG lets you explore your favorite town of fun and horror. So it is a horror-based RPG, and it's new villain arise, Peppo. Congratulations, day 1 funded gift. This looks like it is a fun horror RPG, but can be played either in a horror realm or in a fun realm as well. Monsters 2.7 edition. So Ken St. Andre created Tunnels and Trolls, the second RPG ever, and then he also created Monsters. So you're playing monsters against normal people, and this is his 2.7 edition. Troll Gods Games is helping him put it out. I'm trying to get everything squared away so we can get Ken on stream chatting because he is an older gentleman. He's in his 70s, so and one of the cool things is you can add, I think, all of the. So you can get it in PDF, or you can get the Crystal Caravan Challenge for $7, the Mini Adventure for $2, Monsters for $9, the Monsters Dice Bag and 3 Monsters Dice for $11. You can get the PDF of the Monsters and the Crystal Caravan for $15. Then printed version is $15 for that, and $38 for Monsters. $52 for both. Then you can get a signed copy with standees and a bunch more stuff for $73. And then if you go to 94, you also get a limited run of a signed reprint of the first edition. And I showed on stream probably about 6 months ago. I acquired a first edition, and that one's all gone. There were 100 of those, and they said done, gone. Yeah, so I don't know if this is a. See, Monsters Zero Edition Spiral Bound. Before the original Monsters was published in '76, Ken St. Andrew had written up the early draft of Monster rules. This book presents that draft. Oh, sweet! So this is a Zero Edition. This is before the edition I have. This book presents that draft with art from Ken's personal collection of artwork from the 70s, and with additional notes and commentary. This special Zero edition of Monsters will only be printed once, will be signed by Ken, and numbered with 100 copies to be made. This book will be spiral bound in a classic style that other Ken St. Andrew RPGs of the 70s. And they did. Most of the stuff he put out in the 70s had a spiral binding on it, and just made sense. It was great. Or some of them were stapled. Because Tunnels and Trolls first edition that came out in 75, if I recall correctly, was just stapled in the top corner. And I think this is actually really cool because it's an update to a cool older system that also allows you to, look back at how the game has changed and progressed over the years. It's super cool that you've got some people that are helping these guys put some really awesome stuff out. Rise of Eldritch: Adventures in Cadathport. System neutral tabletop RPG encounters, hooks, battle maps, tokens, and add-ons, and impending doom. Hail Cthulhu. Side quest 20 from Calgary, Canada. So these guys have put out a bunch of fun little add-ons for stuff in the past. I believe all this is digital. It's all like print and play. So you're going to get in at a fairly decent price. So $15 gets you the maps, $10 gets you the adventure guide, $30 Canadian, so $23 gets you the complete bundle. And it's like all these maps and tokens. So, being what they are, they're also usable in most tabletop RP or in most VTTs as well. So, we also provided upload instructions for virtual tabletop support. So, if you're into doing a Call of Cthulhu thing, this should be right in your wheelhouse. Ekram, the dystopian steampunk tabletop RPG. Dive into this narrative-focused, dark urban steampunk and paranormal tabletop RPG with an original, fast-to-learn 2d6 system. I like D6 systems just because they do tend to be very quick and easy to learn. They're past their goal, so this is their first created, Zero-backed. Open Sesame Games out of Pennville, Indiana. I do say that many people are very leery of Kickstarters that have like they haven't backed anything. It's the hey, back a handful of things so that people feel like they can trust you. I'm not saying you can't. Just saying that that is the standard feeling. Some really nice art. Oh man, look at that. The breakdown of a dragon or lizard monster thing, and then a very creepy seagull bat thing. That is. How is it played? It's played like RPGs. So let's see. $40 gets you PDF stuff. $90 gets you PDF and all stretch goals. Print. Okay, that's printed and so $90 gets you all the books that are print and the PDF version. So it's two books. So $90 is not horrible because you're getting $2. Contains a player plus conductor's manual. So your 2 books in print, the conductor screen, collector's slipcase, a dice set, a pack of character sheet, a quick reference booklet, subscriber's name in the book, all unlock stretch goals. So that's not horrible. $135 sounds like a lot, but it's not really that much because you're getting a fair amount in that. Writers of the Burp Warp and Warp Shine. So our friends over at Neon Lords or Savage Systems, not only did they have they been doing good with this, but they have they're a project that Kickstarter loves. I already talked with Brian. I know how he did this. He's a sneaky man, and I love him for it. Now he literally figured out how to talk to the right people, and they doing really well. It's he was only looking for $2,000. It is 2 small. They're like the old school modules, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And 48 hours to go. So you don't have much time to back them. So 10 all new classes for Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, which I'm super stoked about. I love the game a ton. So you get, this is Riders of the Burp Warp, so this is 10 new classes for the game system. Street Sharks. There's a chainsword. I think that might be me. Brian's already probably asleep. And then you get the Warp Ride runners, the Warp Shine runners. So instead of Moonshine, Warp Shine. Then I love the art. So here's your new Scumdogs. Let's see, Biotrooper, the Neon Wars never looked so gross. Combat Droids, Endless Wars, and nothing to show for it. Leatherback, Kings of the Savage Earth, before those pesky humanoids showed up. Rad Scientist, welcome to the School of Cool. Sewer Shark, totally awesome, man. Star Grunt, policing a galaxy ain't paying the bills. Stacy, no mom, no law, or no man, no law, no war can stop them. Terror Chain Warrior, the President's Chosen. And the Wasteland Weirdo, Master of Mutants, Mutts, and Monsters. Oh my god. Brian, I love you so much. These are things right out of my head. So $20 gets you the PDF. 35 gets you $20 gets you the PDF of either. 35 gets you the PDF of both. $30 gets the soft cover of either. 55 gets you both in soft cover and PDF. And then Lord Rady's Acolyte. You have achieved sainthood. Your name shall be written in the Savage One's list of exalted names. Literally. Not only will you get both soft covers of PD and PDFs, but Mustafa will also draw your Neon Lord character. The art will be black and white, non-portrait, and with no background. It includes a soft cover of both books, PDF and of both books. Fulfilled through Drive-Thru RPGF, Mustafa will draw your Neon Lord's character. See, they've unlocked They unlock the Toxic Barbarian, co-written by Joey Royale. So he does stuff for Goodman Games. Uh, Loot the Dead Hillbilly. All new Loot the Dead Hillbilly table will be in the Warpshine runners. Bixie's technically street legal catalog abridged version. 10 all new weapons your players can use to dish out some muty justice. Norton's Guide to Nueva Angels. First time in the West Coast? Well, let Norton tell you what is in Nueva Angels and the surrounding areas, including Beggar's Ridge. Not Beggar's Canyon, Beggar's Ridge. Mutant Cannibal Redneck Random Generator. Tired of your beating the Sawyer kinfolk? This is a handy dandy table that you can generate all rotted teeth rednecks that you can shake a rat on a stick at. Printed Standees. So they haven't quite got to the printed standees. They're close. Beggar's Ridge hex map printout. Pog Series 3. Yes, he does Pogs for his games. It's awesome. I don't have any on my desk. They are elsewhere. So it is absolutely worth backing. I love this game. And then you can, in the add-ons, you can get the core book as well. So the Total Carnage Edition. If you missed the over-the-top Kickstarter for the Total Carnage Edition, you're in luck. We have them in stock. And I don't know if it comes with this badass cover, because the limited run one that we got for the library had this on it, and on the inside is a one-shot. Great use of space. Let's see. Tomb Punks, 4 days to go. Rules light, high adventure role-playing game system rises from its tomb with all new art, lore, and more. So they're in a Project We Love situation as well. Fun in 18.037 minutes. Oh, he funded in like 20 minutes or something like that as well. It was bonkers. There was actually a race to see who would be number one. He did a live stream. I was backer number 6. I backed it. The guy that got first, he backed for $1 and then went back and raised his backing afterwards. I was like, oh, it's so genius. There's all the other versions, you've got to fill out more information. This actually looks kind of cool. Okay, let's go to some cool stuff from BackerKit. So the people that did Ink and did the Cooler magazine, they have Tea Time Adventures. This is Tea Time Adventures RPG and Tea Pets box set. This is launching tomorrow afternoon. And normally I don't talk about things prior, but Tea Time Adventures is an adorable little game. I absolutely love it. Hey there, Jono. This is all going to be this beautiful limited run, and then you've got the Tea Time Adventure core book, Tales from Oakbound, and then the Tea Pets. So this is all new. They've told the library they are going to give us copies, but I want people to back it. The team we met them at PAX, and they're just some of the nicest people I've met, and they're creating a game that they want to play. And it's very evident. I love meeting people that are making games they want to play. Because I've met people that are working on games because they want to make games. But there's a big difference between making games that because you want to make games and making games that you want to play. And like this team really is making games they want to play. So I'll be definitely talking about this next week. They're such a fun little team of people. I like what they're doing because they're putting little recipes in there, and that's a fun little world building thing. And honestly, I love how these come out. These remind me of some of the kids' books I read when I was a little kid as well. So I really do love these. Let's see. Don't miss this wonderful return to the world's coziest RPG and the Origins Award finalist for Best Tabletop RPG. Sign up for notifications, get early to get an early supporter special tea gift with your pledge. Aww. Let's see. Unnatural Selections. A supplement for use with Shadow Dark. So Shadow Dark is shipping here shortly. I know people that backed it, got their PDFs and everything already. People have been playing it. It is a pretty good OSR game, and so this I think this is going to be a neat add-on to that. Magnus. This is from our friends over at Monty Cook Games. They're at 1.4 million. Holy cow. Magnus Archives role-playing game. It's funny because I've been wanting to talk about this, but I was struggling to find it on BackerKit. BackerKit, please get better about searching. Magnus Archives is an award-winning horror fiction anthology podcast examining what lurks in the archives of the Magnus Institute, an organization dedicated to researching the esoteric and the weird. Oh, don't come to my house. It follows the actions of the head archivist, Jonathan Sims, as he attempts to bring a seemingly neglected collection of supernatural statements up to date, converting them into audio and supplementing them with follow-up work from his small but dedicated team. So I think this is a really cool, because it's horror, but it's not, it's not your standard horror. And I like what they're doing. Let's go to their little Backet thing. So $30 you get it in PDF. $45 you get all the stuff in PDF. $75 you get the core book and the PDF. And $135 you get the limited run cover. $199 you get the limited deluxe edition cover, the standard cover print. So $200 you get the core book, the standard book, the archive player guide, 5 copies of that. That's cool. 5 player character portfolios, the GM campaign journal, all in. Wow, that's actually a lot of stuff. I love that. So you have your core book, and then they have. I love it when companies do this. The player, the Magnus Archives player guide. So you can hand those out to players. They don't have to pick up a big, thick, crazy book and go, oh, it's so much. Avatar. So you get the limited print, the regular book, the 5 players' archives, the 5 character portfolios, the GM's campaign journal, limited edition dice with book safe presentation box. Oh, it looks like a book safe. 12 set of linear book plates, and the Magnus Archives XP deck. And then this one just adds even more onto that. Whew. But I'm really excited for this one. There's 11 days left. So it ends September 22nd. I may back this one personally after payday. I'll have to see. And Bramble Trek, a GM-less RPG adventure. So let's see what the backing is. So Bramble Tech Explorer bundles $50. You get the entire digital and physical suite of products. You get the book in the ambient track, card deck, player journal, and credit in the book. Digital edition's $10. Physical edition is only $20. The collector's bundle's $90. Look at the little. He's so adorable. $80 gets you 4 copies of the core book. That's the group physical group bundle. The party bundle is 4 copies of the decks of cards, the character journal, and the book. The group collector's bundle, you get 4 copies of everything and the mouse. That's $324. So it is a GM-less RPG that you can play. You wish Paizo still did print player guide for their adventure paths. That would be nice. I do like that. So this is a solo RPG that you can play solo or you can play in a group of up to 4 players, which is a really cool idea. Um, I really want to see, because I love the idea of solo RPGs, but I really want to see how this one plays with up to 4 players. So, and the art is adorable. Featured on Dicebreaker. Well, now featured on Alexandria RPG. Just saying. Let's see what Humble Bundle has. Let's see. Oh yes. Let's see. I want to see what this Cthulhu thing is from Pellegrin Press. Oh, are these books for the RPG? Explorer. Oh yes, this is so this is an RPG. So $18 gets you 23 Cthulhu books using the Gumshoe system. So it's a much simpler system than you would get using Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu system. The Gumshoe system is actually pretty nice. It's great for like introducing teenagers, or for wanting to just kind of get the rules out of the way. If you just want to like have a more rules light system. But that's a lot of books. Soldiers of Pen and Ink. So there's a bunch of Call of Cthulhu from Pellegrin, the Trail of Cthulhu from Pellegrin Press using the Gumshoe system, and then so $25, you get 75 PDFs from Goodman Games, and some of these are for D20, some of them are for DC. Yeah. So get ready to put your players through the meat grinder with this gargantuan collection of modules and supplements for the Dungeon Crawl Classic RPG system from Goodman Games. This bundle includes 70 plus DCC books ranging from essential modules like Ideals of the Rat King, The Lost Vault of Sazar, Row, and Mysterious Tower, to mammoth supplements like Castle Winter Rock, a venerable campaign in a virtual box. Pay what you want. It's $25. So, geez, I mean, there's so many books here. Gazetteer of the Known Realms, The Adventure Continues, Castle White Rock. This is a huge freaking module. Does it tell how many? Yeah, 700 pages. That's like massive. That is a giant freaking thing. So, I mean, I don't know what that costs in PDF outside of this bundle, but that is insane. I mean, some of these we've played on stream. We've played bits and pieces of Sailors of the Scarless Sea, the Scarless Sea, People of Pit, and then something else. So we love Dungeon Crawl Classics a lot. And there's so much good here. Oh, Dark Tower, Sunken Temple of Set, such a good book. So many awesome things to play in. Chanters in the Dark. We played that one a bit of that one on the stream. DCC Day, Dungeon Crawl Classic Day 2022 Adventure Pack. Just so much. And then you get a coupon. It is 20% off. So after you buy this, you get a coupon to go buy. You get 20% off of stuff at the DCC store. So much, and I mean, this is enough that you'll be playing Dungeon Crawl Classics for several years. Easy. Let's see. Okay, 20 hours left on our Cephas Green tabletop horror role playing game, Hostel. The starter collection is $10. So you get Hostel rules and setting, gritty space horror built on the Cephas engine. You got Gun Locker, the Cephas handouts, and the Hostel referee's screen. That's $10. If you go up to $20.50, you get all that, plus you get the Explorers, Dirtside Colony Builder, Alien Breeds, Synthetics, Gunboats and Shuttles, Marine Corps Handbook for $22.15, and Crew Expendable, Hauling Freight Across the Stars, a campaign framework. So, if you're looking for a fun, gritty horror, space horror game, Castle White Rock is 60 on it. 60. So yeah, going back to this. So Castle White Rock. This. Somebody in the chat looked it up. That is $60 if you go to DriveThruRPG just to buy the PDF, because it is 700 pages. And if you're at all interested in Dungeon Crawl Classics, I suggest, because the core rulebook is $30 and it comes with a PDF. So pick that up, and then pick this up. It's got 2 days, 14 hours, and 29 minutes left. Yeah, $25. I mean, one of the books in there is $60 on its own. Holy Toledo. The Delta Green Mega. So $7.95. Delta Green is a sci-fi horror game using Call of Cthulhu. So $8 gets you the Delta Green Agent's Handbook, the Complex, the Big Data to Beltway Bandits, and Agent Dossier. 41 pre-generated agent professions. Then, if you go up to $40, you get all that plus the Delta Green Handler screen, the Arcant, Archaeological Intelligence for Delta Green operatives, Impossible Landscapes, Iconoclasts, an Iraqi Delta Green campaign. Oh, that's kind of cool. In Delta Green, The Labyrinth, Delta Green, The Conspiracy, Delta Green Handler's Guide. So the GM's book. So $20, you can get a boatload of Delta Green stuff, and it is a pretty cool setting using the Call of Cthulhu rules. Then you got Delta Green Assets Pack. So this is $18. So if you get the first one, and this has 13 days left, you can get the Delta Green Asset Pack Classified 1, official looking document stamps, Known Vectors Pack 1, the Sinister Organizations of Delta Green setting, Law Enforcement Pack 1, federal, state, and local agencies of the Delta Green setting, with police powers, Public Interest Pack 1, cabinet departments and national institutions with investigation powers, and Private Sector Pack, security services for hire. Got a drinking problem. And for what, less than $40, you get a boatload of Delta Green stuff. The Nightmares Underneath has 6 days left. $10, you get Nightmares Underneath, the Dream Kingdom invaders that manifest as dungeons. Dungeon full of monsters. Modular dungeon crawl for old school FRPGs. And City of Poison, dungeon for Nightmares Underneath. Then if you go to $23.14, you get the Metamorphica, Random Mutations Table. The only one, only monsters here, no false advertising in this sandbox setting. And the Nameless Grimoire, 666 spells for the Nightmares Underneath. Then we've got Atomic Robo, has 1 day left. 2 days. So $13 gets you the Atomic Robo RPG. And it's a pretty cool little game. By Evil Hat, uses I think it uses Fate. I like the setting. I can't remember what core rules it uses. I think it is Fate. So again, it's $13, gets you the Atomic Robo RPG. 3 Atomic Robo graphic albums, Other Strangeness, Ghosts of Station X, Shadow from Beyond Time, and 3 Tesladyne manuals. Tesla Line Field Guide, FM Ultra Field Manual, and Dr. Dino's Time Travel Guide. Then in the bonus collection, so if you go up to $27, you get 2 real science adventure collections, Flying She-Devils and Nicodemus Job. And then you get 4 more Atomic Robo graphic albums, Savage Sword of Dr. Dino, Ring of Fire, Temple of Odd, and Spectre of Tomorrow. And then you also get Atomic Robo RPG Majestic 12, secretly protecting the public from dangerous tech since 1947. Atomic Robo is a cool little world. It's a lot of fun. Atomic Robo was a fun one. It actually has a real good hack for Fate Core. Cool, thank you. I was pretty sure it used one of the Fate systems, so it's using the Fate Core system. And yeah, Atomic Robo, created in 2007, been online since 2015. It's a really cool little world, and I'm not the biggest fan of Fate. It's a good system for a lot of people, and it actually works pretty well for the Atomic Robo setting. So, well, that's the end of what we got today, but we got a bunch of awesome books. I'm excited to dig into some of these, especially getting old zines from the 80s, getting Star Blazer stuff, just so much awesomeness. And so, well, we'll be at Rose City Comic Con towards the end of the month, and then we have on the 19th we've got Talk Like a Pirate Day, where we're going to be doing Pirate Borg. And if you want to help us out, please, you can subscribe to us here on Twitch, or if you're watching on Rumble or YouTube, you can also just subscribe to our channels there. If you want to help us out, you can go to our website, alexanderrpg.org, and see how you can donate to us. So our PayPal is Alexandria RPG, donations at Alexandria RPG. I believe it's still .com, because I'm not 100% sure that one's gone over to .org. It was being a pain in the butt. And then we've got like coffee. We've also got a Patreon, which I meant to put something out on the 1st, and I thought I did, but evidently I didn't. But we're going to be having a poll for anybody that's backing us on Patreon to see what kind of custom character sheet we do for an RPG. We're going to try to do that once a quarter. And oh man. Oh, if you want to join our Discord, alexandriarpg.org/Discord will get you right to our Discord, and you can chat with all of us there. So until next time, we are officially closed. You all have a good night.